All right, folks, what is going on? Back with another video, and I want to talk about the update to Scott Van Fleet. He wanted to give us an update on what's going on with the Xbox outage, and he wanted us to know what the cause was and what they're doing going forward. So there's some transparency that is continuing when it comes to the whole Xbox outage, because a lot of people could not play their games, and it was a really big deal, and they really wanted to let you know what's going on. So shout out to Scott Van Fleet. I think he is the CTO of Xbox, Chief Technical Officer. I think that's the name of the CTO, but nevertheless, we're just going to get into this. He jumps right in and says, what was the root cause? As he previously wrote, an underlying service required from Xbox home console sharing and Game Pass purchase content, as well as some PC scenarios experienced an outage whereby an update to the system put some services in an unresponsive state. This was compounded by a bug in the Xbox client software stack, which caused other license checks to also fail when the first service went down. These two issues created some cascading failure scenarios that affected some players' ability to launch games and causing cascading issues with library enumeration. So basically, those two issues caused everybody not to play their game. So like I said, they had an outage where some services unresponsive state. Then they had a bug in the software stack, and it caused other license checks to fail. So basically, they had a licensing issue where one license couldn't connect to your game, and nothing could be done about it until they fixed it. So what have they done about it? We are transitioning ownership of the underlying license service to the Xbox team, while our engineers are actively hardening the services and infrastructure for future updates. The client bug has been fixed in an upcoming release, which starts rolling out today, August 10th. That's the day of this recording, and becomes mandatory August 17th. So basically, that company, when he talked about this last time, that company that was actually in charge of the licensing situation where the license connect to your account and it works, they got rid of them. They're transitioning ownership to that to themselves. So everything is going to be done in-house based on what it says. That's what it sounds like. And they're going to get a better infrastructure. So basically what comes next, he said, our engineers and operation teams are looking broadly across our stack to improve reliability of our products and services. They'll have more updates in the weeks and months. Okay, yada, yada, yada. So basically, they're going to try to improve reliability of this situation, because when you're looking at an all-digital future, this is the type of stuff you're probably going to be dealing with. And yeah, that pretty much sucks, to be honest. I mean, I don't like this whole situation with all-digital future, even though I plan on going all in with it. I think I'm starting to feel like any game that I buy digital going forward, I just have the notion that I don't own it. So by some chance, if we do lose it, no harm, no foul. I mean, if I really want the game, I just have to get it physical. Unless you can't get it physical, then I'll just take the PC approach, right? I still don't have any notion that I own any of this stuff at the end of the day, except for GOG. Shout out to them guys. Excellent company over there, GOG. So that's what's going on with Xbox. Now, let's jump over to this Steam situation, because this is another thing I want to talk about, where Steam is basically was hit by a cyber attack. I don't think they were, but the customers were. And I want to talk about that. Let's get into this. Steam Machine and Steam Controller customers in Europe hit by a cyber attack. So basically, they had another company that come in to do their logistics when it comes to the fulfillment of hardware. And yeah, now your stuff may be, leaked or whatever. So it says Europe's Steam-based machine and Steam controller companies received a message from Valve warning them that their personal information has been leaked due to a cyber attack on a logistics partner, Seva Logistics, which handles Steam hardware for fulfillment in Europe. They notified Valve of the attack on August 7th. Valve message reports the information compromised. No payment information or passwords could include names, addresses, countries, phone numbers, Steam account email addresses, and Steam hardware purchase detail. Therefore, Valve is understandably concerned that attackers would use this information to trick Steam customers into diverging more private information, installing malware, or making fraudulent payments. Now, they said that you should not worry about your Steam account or your passwords or your payment information. If I were you, I would just try to change that stuff anyway. I mean, you just never could be, careful, right? Not too careful. You gotta always have to, cover yourself and stuff like this. Now, as far as your name, addresses, or countries, phone numbers, all that stuff, yeah, you may have an issue with that. If I was you, just be wary of any thing that you get through email or through your house or your phone or whatever. That stuff may be trying to fish to get some information out of you or whatever the case may be. That's kind of crazy. Therefore, Valve says that expect fake messages, email, SMS, phone that mention your hardware order appear to come from Steam. Yeah, this is exactly what I said. Be prepared for that type of stuff. Now, like I said, just for a layer of measure, I would probably try to change my password for Steam, even though it may have nothing to do with it. You just never know how far this stuff goes, and the safer you are, the better you will be in the long run. So that is something you may have to think about at the end of the day, because yeah, that's what we're dealing with nowadays. It sucks, but yeah. So like they said, they may ask you to confirm a delivery, pay a small customer or redelivery fee, or sign in somewhere to verify your order. Treat them all as fake. And yeah, don't worry about any of that. If they bring that stuff to you, just block them and keep it moving. I'm pretty sure like they probably said this in this article. I have the link down in the description for both of these articles that we talked about. They probably would never contact you for your information. Most companies don't contact you for your information. It's very rare, if any, that they do that. So they did this whole email that they sent to Valve about all this stuff, and it says like what it means for you, things that are true. Steam support handles account issues at help at .steampowered.com, and these are other real login pages, so you would know. Store .steampowered, Steam powered, Steam community, help at Steam powered. Those are the places that Steam will come at, that you will go to get your stuff actually verified to log into. Don't go anywhere else. And last but not least, like I said, Steam will never ask you for your password, or Steam Guard code. Neither will a courier. So a courier like Seven Logistics. So like I said, this stuff is kind of crazy, but for me, I don't even live in Europe, and I'm actually thinking about changing my stuff, because you just never could be too careful, right? Could never be, you don't want to get caught lacking, at the end of the day. So like I said, this is something you may want to look into. I'm probably going to be just watching it from a distance, because I don't live in Europe, but still, this is kind of crazy. But nevertheless, this is what we got going on. You guys let me know what you think. Are you concerned about any of these? The Xbox thing, it's good to have the transparency, but when it comes to the Steam thing, it's something you might need to worry about, especially if you're in Europe. But nevertheless, I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all take it easy, and y'all be blessed. Peace.